Hey everybody, this is Beast. Welcome back to my channel. My name is ScottyAllenDay. Welcome to the legendary places in music history vlog. I've got to call it a whole bunch of different things as I keep finding different places in history that are iconic and that can actually help put together the history of the genre that I'm trying to discuss at that time. I'm using my notes today. I got a lot of them. So every Friday I will select from my list or a viewer's from the comment section below and dig up some interesting music history. Some stuff you may know, some stuff you might not know. Music bucket lists are an exciting way to learn about how music has shaped the lives of millions worldwide. And, it's really important that we try and preserve the past, but some of the smaller places that we don't even think of are still there. Some of the smaller places that you think that it couldn't have happened, it couldn't have been possible. It happened, and it was possible. So Andrew Carnegie built Carnegie Hall, or Carnegie Center, in 1881. Get over to my next page for his wife's orchestra, which now is the Philharmonic Orchestra. And they can be able to have a building to be able to play in. Back in 1891, they really didn't have that many places to be able to play. The cathedral was really a hard place to be able to go and do to be able to perform, and there was really no place to be able to build. So when Andrew Carnegie laid the first cornerstone, he said that that he hopes for as long as that building would stand, that it will play a big part of music history. Carnegie Hall has 3 theaters, with the main theater seating 3,200 people. Now keep this in mind, because I'm going to talk about some other things about this 3,200 people. And it has the best acoustics, because like any Carnegie centers or Carnegie theaters, it is built as like an amphitheater, and depending on how it's built, it could actually make the sound greater than what is actually performed, or make it even sound better than what it's actually performed, or even the voice sound much more full and give you a better experience of that particular song. So I'm still using my notes here, bear with me. So many big names, such as the Beatles and the Stones, in the late 40s, the Stones sold out a concert that mostly teenage girls dancing on top of the seats. The Beatles sold out their concert, and that was probably one of the first, most documented concerts that they had there, that basically you had people dancing in the streets trying to cram themselves to get into the theater. But because the Beatles and the Stones in 64, not the 40s, in 64 were huge. They were getting ready to get even bigger. They peaked right about 65, 66, until they went over to the West Coast, which they were really not really cemented yet. They were cemented on the East Coast because the radio stations promoted it as the British invasion, and the Beatles and the Stones came over to the United States and basically blew up rock history. So pretty much they were able I would say that was probably their first iconic stop. I'm going to do a little bit more research on the Beatles and the Stones when they came over to the U.S., what their tour was. But this was one of the most iconic stops. The acoustics on the inside. I've watched other videos where Mick Jagger was talking about playing at Carnegie Center for the first time. And he said he's played there a couple times with the Stones. They had some closed concerts there. They had some recordings there. Unfortunately, the Beatles really didn't have that much going on at that time. The Doors played there without John Morrison. And many other big name act. Bill Haley and his Comets played there. Jerry Garcia played there. And it was all a bucket list. And from the 60s to about, I would say, the 90s, if you played at Carnegie Hall, regardless of what band you're in, you've made music history. You played in the most iconic theater you could possibly play in. And it was true. It was one of the big things. And every time that a big act went to Carnegie Theater, a lot of times they would do a charity event to go along with it, and the ticket prices were insane. And when a big act was going to Carnegie Hall or Carnegie Center, you would literally have people waiting 2 city blocks to be able to get into that concert, to get into that show. Comedians, and there was hundreds of Carnegie Hall shows. As far as comedy, comedians such as Robin Williams, Tom Hanks, and Gallagher performed on the main stage. Just imagine going and watching Gallagher, and he's getting ready to start smashing his tomatoes with his watermelons, and the acoustics in there to be able to grasp the crunch from that mallet hitting those watermelons, and then the splash from the watermelons hitting the audience. That had to have been amazing. They had all kinds of mega stars that played over there at Carnegie Hall, such as Madonna. Michael Jackson had several shows there. He also did several private shows and private recordings right inside of that theater. Frank Zappa was there. I believe he recorded two songs for 2 albums inside of Carnegie Hall. The Doors played there without John Morrison. And the list continues to keep going on. Cyndi Lauper played there. The Who played there. But one of the big things that Pearl Jam played there, I believe Pearl Jam, no, I'm not going to. Pearl Jam played there. I was thinking that they played there for the 9/11 thing, but no, it wasn't. Just scrap that. Green Day's played there numerous times. However, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, never had a chance to play there. However, the Presley name is still cemented in history in that theater because Lisa Marie Presley performed at Carnegie Hall. So, I mean, I've got a lot of notes here, and I was, just talking a lot about how important a place like Carnegie Hall was. However, it almost went away. In the 1950s, the Philharmonic Orchestra outgrew Carnegie Hall and went to go and move to the Lincoln Center in New York. Now, if you don't know where Carnegie Hall is basically at the foot or the end of Central Park in New York. It's a big stone building. I've never been there. I want to go there. There's lots of myths that says if you went into the theater on a somewhat windy day and sat there and listened, the theater will sing to you. It's been said in several movies. It's been said it's been said in books. It's been said in magazines. It's been said on newspapers, and even performers that have went in and performed at Carnegie Hall. And they said that when they came in and they sat down and they said, "Wow, this is amazing. This is an amazing place." And they sit there in the chair and they listen, and they can hear everything going on in that theater. Country music superstars have gone in there. Dolly Parton's been in there. Whitney Houston's been in there. Garth Brooks has played several times inside of there. Reba McEntire, Brooks and Dunn, Kenny Rogers, Charlie Daniels has played hundreds of times in there. I've actually attended multiple Charlie Daniels concerts, but never inside of Carnegie Hall. That would have been an iconic concert, especially with the way that he plays his fiddle and the fiddle fire. And I can just literally sit here and imagine what the sound would have been. Now, I've heard Charlie Daniels playing inside of a cathedral. He played in a cathedral in Philadelphia, doing a big promotion for some kind of an album, some kind of a gospel album, and he was recording inside there, and I ended up helping out with some of the with the lighting and the sound, and just listening to the acoustics from inside of that cathedral. I couldn't imagine the beauty of the songs that would have came from that fiddle. And then if you ended up listening to multiple other acts, there's I had the guy's name on, and he's one of the all four of the fathers of rock and roll have played inside of that theater. Chuck Berry's played inside of that theater. Buddy Holly and the Crickets have played inside of the theater. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. I'll have it back, and I'll have it, eventually I'll probably drop it in the comment section below. However, it's important to keep and preserve history, and to be able to go and see what we're talking about. To this day, orchestras and choir groups and bands are constantly booked going through Carnegie Hall, because it is an experience nobody can be able to forget. They have thousands of free concerts, and they got schools flying from around the globe just to perform at Carnegie Hall. So that's pretty much my video that I'm talking about today. I'm sorry I forgot the two other fathers of rock and roll. It's been a long night, but just getting to talk about someplace like this that's on my bucket list. I already said that when I was doing the New York bucket list, and I want to go to Carnegie Hall. So if you guys have a location that you guys want me to talk about, or a specific concert you want me to talk about, drop it in the comment section below. If I can find enough information to do a video, I'll be more than happy to be able to do it. Hopefully you guys will like this series. This will be every single Friday. Give me enough time to be able to do more research. That way it doesn't seem like I've thrown together, a video. I can do more research and then make a nice, good quality video. And it's within my genre that I'm trying to establish as a YouTube creator. So drop a comment in the comment section below to let me know what you guys think of the video. If you have a place in mind, leave that in the comment section below. Give me a like and a share. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And like always, keep on rocking.